A.B. Burdette, Czar Cruci, set to bring the ball out for the jump. Tony Green and Brian Dorsey join him on the officiating crew this afternoon from Dallas. ECU controls the opening tip. Here's the East Carolina starting lineup. Ezra Ozar, Quentin DeBoonjay, Jaden Walker, Brandon Johnson, as well as R.J. Felton in that starting five for ECU. Ball knocked away. Zach Nuttall picks it up. First offensive possession for the Mustangs.
Yeah, great for the Mustangs to be able to start on a defensive stop, but then unfortunately gave a takeaway to ECU, and they're just playing a little game of I don't even know what to call the game you would call it.
No back and forth. No points on the board yet. Smith driving hard off the glass, no good.
A little hot potato to start, we'll call it.
Good term.
The team's able to get some stops to start. Now it's who can get comfortable enough to get on the board first.
Boonjay can't convert. Now Zurich Phelps with the ball in his hands. He had 22 points to lead the Mustangs on Thursday as they fell to second-ranked Houston. Coming out of nowhere, Ozar knocked it.
A lot of defense to start this game. Steals, turnovers, blocks. Good job taking it aggressively, trying to draw a foul, and everyone in the gym locked in on Zurich Phelps, the leading scorer for this SMU team. These two teams played just on February 4th. ECU's only played one game since then. Has won their last two, so they're coming in playing some of their best basketball of the season.
Phelps driving baseline, now getting it to Williamson to slam it home for the first 2 points of the game.
It's a good way to prevent the block, Samuel. Just go up and dunk it with two hands. Nice dish by Zurich Phelps. Made the adjustment after knowing everyone's focused on him to stop him from scoring. Great easy dish to Samuel Williams.
Jaden Walker, only 2 points the first time these two teams got together, but he dished out a career-high 8 assists in that game against the Mustangs. So still affecting the game, even if his shots aren't falling. Quentin DeBoonjay getting that one to fall. He returned to the starting lineup last game, kept that spot.
Yeah, there's one of those assists you talked about. Walker stepping into point guard due to injury for the Pirates and played 35+ minutes, and coach has been really impressed with the way he's handled the point guard. Not natural position for him, but he's done a terrific job and talented enough to do it.
Zach Nuttall from the left wing, no good, but SMU will retain possession. And Nuttall will bring it in. He had 11 against Houston.
SMU already with 3 more shot attempts than ECU, just 1 of 5 to start this one, but have been aggressive to get extra opportunities, get some of those offensive rebounds. They're looking to convert.
Phelps, quick kick over to Williamson, up and under and in. He has all 4 of the Mustangs' points so far. The Mustangs retake the lead 4-3.
Yeah, both of them are assisted by Zurich. Zurich doing a good job. This is the evolution of his game, is driving to the paint and not only looking to score, but finding teammates for easy baskets as well.
Quick inside to Felton. Jalen Smith over to Williamson. McDonald's All-American player here in Dallas-Fort Worth for Rockwall High School. 6'3" Mustangs. Felton quickly to him as ECU able to get behind the defense.
Yeah, Coach Lanier's talked about their transition defense needs to be better all year long, and you see a transition after a make. Great finish by FEODG, but not great transition. And excellent job by ECU to be able to make a full court pass for a layup.
ODG ball back in his hands. Quick over to Nuttall. Back outside to Smith. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Mustangs have to hurry, get it up just before the buzzer. Did ODG get it off in time? The initial call is no. Shot clock violation on the Mustangs.
Yeah, good defense by ECU. SMU, I'm not sure that they wanted the possession to go as deep as it did, but short on that one on the contest. Not sure they had the awareness to know that the clock was as low as it was, but you'd like to be able to get a higher quality shot at least sooner, so then that offensive rebound could count that ODG picked up.
SMU 6-5 in the early going here in Dallas. Samuel Williamson with 4 points for the Mustangs. Efe ODG adds 2. SMU leads the head-to-head series with East Carolina 19-6, but the Pirates beat the Mustangs earlier this month 77-72 in Greenville. The Pirates have not won here in Moody Coliseum since February of 2012.
That's been a long time.
Awful long time for ECU. Michael Schwartz in his first season leading these ECU Pirates and having to guide his team through this past emotional week as radio play-by-play man Jeff Charles died last Friday in New Orleans during a ECU basketball road trip to Tulane. He had been the voice of ECU since 1988. That game with the Green Wave was postponed. It will be made up now in New Orleans on March the 3rd.
Yeah, just a really, really sad situation, and never those things you can prepare for in sports, right? You never expect those type of things to happen. We'll definitely want to send condolences to his family. 30-plus years and over 100 basketball, or excuse me, over 1,000 basketball broadcasts.
Mad hustle for the basketball. ECU able to get possession with Quentin DeBouje. And here's Brandon Johnson. Offensive board by Luigi Debo.
Just kind of been one of those games since the beginning. Just one of those messy starts. It's not as clean of basketball being played, but great drive there and great finish. Something
that ECU did really well the other day against Cincinnati was second chance points, especially in the second half. 7-0 over the Bearcats.
Yeah, and a huge win against Cincinnati. Much needed win for them. They felt like the best, most signature win that they've had all season. So they want to continue to ride that momentum.
SMU able to retake the lead thanks to Efe ODG. He scored 10 or more points in 11 of the past 13 games for SMU.
Yeah, been playing good basketball. Started his career at UTEP. Transferred to Troy and was newcomer of the year in that conference. And been an inside presence.
Able to roll it in. And man, he has got more aggressive over these past couple of weeks. With Javon Small on the bench, he's really had to take ownership of this offense.
Yeah, he's been a real threat for ECU. They've kind of created themselves almost a big three offensively, if you will, and he's a big part of that.
ODG off the mark on the fadeaway. East Carolina leading by 1.
See a little double team by SMU in the post that time.
Cross court to Debunje, a little short. And Zurich Phelps, met by 3 defenders, still gets a shot up, and he'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, that's where Zurich does some of his best attacking, is in transition, and such a burst of speed, quick change of direction, and able to get right to his sweet spot where all he has to do is jump up and kind of power through. And again, in transition is where Zurich does some of his best work. I know he wishes he had that finish back to get the end one, but great start offensively for Zurich. Able to get a couple assists to Samuel Williamson. And unfortunately, a little short on that free throw.
Yeah, doesn't draw iron on the initial attempt from the charity stripe.
Guy who's made a significant jump. He's one of the most improved players in this conference for SMU, and leads this ball club in scoring. And again, the evolution of his game has been his ability to create for teammates and not have to do it on his own, and great extra opportunity there for the Mustangs.
And misses both free throws, but another chance for SMU, and into Todorovic. Now another chance for SMU to add points from the free throw line.
Yeah, just talking about Zurich's ability. Didn't make the free throws. He hasn't shot great from the free throw line this year, but there you see him tight roping the baseline and driving to a cutting Todorovic. And what's changed also within their offense is players like Todorovic understand that he's feeding the ball now. They're not just kind of understanding, I need to go crash this rebound. There's opportunities to score without the basketball and moving without the ball as Zurich Phelps drive, because he commands so much attention. And great, another find there by Phelps.
Todorovic started 7 games for SMU from mid-November to mid-December. Has come off the bench every game since December 22nd, and has been at times a very effective 6-man.
Yeah, had a monster game against Tulane, I believe it was, where he had a career high 27 points and 11 rebounds as well. Great full court pressure by Smith, forces a turnover. A little full court pressure, just one-on-one, and Smith's fired up about being able to get the stop and get his team another opportunity. And Coach Lanier has so many good things to say about Smith, making the transition and embracing the role of not being a traditional point guard, not someone who was recruited to play that position, but has really just evolved and filled that void for this team in a good way. Just a natural, unselfish young man, and has really kind of filled that void nicely.
Phelps now in the paint, pulls back just in front of the free throw line to knock it down for his first 2 points of the day.
Yeah, great job with pace that time. Didn't get rushed, able to kind of back his man down and shoot a nice little soft fadeaway there. That's what Zurich's at his best, when 2 feet are in the paint and he could be under control. Doesn't have to get all the way to the rim, showing his short range on that little jumper there.
On the floor, Nuttall and Lanier into the ball game for SMU. Up top, trying for the highlight reel alley-oop off the inbounds, unable to convert, and SMU retakes the ball.
A great job with the scrappy play to be able to come up with that. When they scouted that play, knew it was coming, and great job getting the deflection that leads to a steal.
Launching one, Nuttall, no good. Mojai trying to come up with the rebound and meet some contact.
Yeah, Mojai he took the elevator to go get that offensive rebound, showing off his length and his athleticism. Has had some bright moments for SMU. Coach Lanier really excited about his future.
Jai did not play against Houston on Thursday. Re-enters here on Sunday afternoon against East Carolina. Knocked away by Brandon Johnson. Keeping the foot down is Biela.
Those are really the plays for SMU you want to avoid at all costs. You don't want to turn the ball. You want to get the shot attempt every time down if you can. Can't afford to give those up because in the other end it leads to baskets.
The freshman Ozar had his second straight double-double on Wednesday against Cincinnati. 14 points, 14 rebounds.
He has played some of his best basketball in these last two. He's a big reason why this team has won their last two games is his double-double production. Here you see on the baseline, giving it up, able to finish on the other side of the rim and avoid the block. But his production, and talking to their coaching staff before the game, just talked about the maturity of him settling in and understanding what college basketball is all about. Sometimes as a highly touted recruit, you may think it's going to be a little easier than it is, but he is realizing exactly the work that needs to go in, and it's starting to pay off for him as he's had back-to-back double-doubles, as you mentioned.
DeBunje off the front of the iron. 12 minutes to go, first half. Ambrose Hilton takes the feed and lays it in.
SMU consistently doing a great job of driving and being able to get cuts off the ball, and done a really great job so far in this game of that very thing.
Biela off the mark. His first shot attempt.
One impressive stat for SMU so far. 5 assists on 6 made baskets. So they've assisted on every basket except the Zurich Phelps turnaround jumper in the lane.
Emery Lanier can't keep his foot down. Travel, turnover by SMU. Mustangs lead by 3. 11:23 remaining in the opening half. American Athletic Conference basketball action Sunday afternoon in Dallas. Time to look at Coach Burton's keys to the game.
Yeah, the shooting in this game is going to be important. The free throw shooting, we know how important it is in any close game. We imagine this game is going to be close. Both teams have kind of struggled in that area consistently, and then three-point shooting is also going to be important. Moving next to the assists versus turnovers. Both teams want to make sure they get a shot every time down, and their defense can lead to offense with turnovers. So assisted baskets, and it comes down to lastly, who wins the extra effort plays, the offensive rebounds, the 50-50 balls, the You know, those plays that are not maybe necessarily showing up in the stat sheet, but the extra effort plays, that's going to be huge in a game with two evenly matched teams.
When we visited with Rob Lanier last night, one of the positives he talked about was the way that his team continues to battle. And it's those extra effort plays that you talked about that he really loves.
Yeah, he loves the character of this group. He said, it's not my favorite season, but one of my favorite teams I've worked with because they just continue to respond with character and togetherness despite whatever challenges that we are facing.
Ozar pulls up and hits.
Yeah, ECU loves to play out of isolation basketball. There you'll see a little bit more of that as it keeps going. Being able to isolate certain players and from the elbows or on certain spots on the floor.
Zach Nuttall with a finger roll at the hoop.
Yeah, nice curl. One of the plays that Zach, or actions that Zach scores on regularly. Kind of curling around that screen and able to drive and finish.
Caleb LeCount able to get past Jalen Smith, but unable to finish. 5'8" freshman from Los Angeles. Contact there between Ambrose Hilton and Johnson. And will stay on SMU's side.
SMU's done a better job in this game of making a concerted effort to play inside out, play in the paint, get downhill, whether it's off of a curl, a post up, or off the bounce. They already have 14 of their 16 points are in the paint. And the other 2 are from the foul line. So something that ECU wants to do a better job of in this game is taking away that painted area for the Mustangs, as they have really established that already in this first 10 minutes.
Checking out the timing issue right now at the scorer's table. Timing with the shot clock and making sure that it is set correctly. They'll put it at 21. Set for Zurich Phelps to inbounds underneath the Mustang basket. Inside to Williamson. He battles against Walker. Got a good shot up, but it goes a little long.
Yeah, good take there. Just a little isolation of SMU's own design there to get Samuel Williamson on the short post up, and there he gets a deflection, and the Mustangs are running.
Using that length. Knocked the ball free, and ODG all alone at the top of the key. Drains it.
That's one of those dreams for a big man, is like, well, coach, I was there. I was that open. So he lets it fly and connects and says, hey, we're easy. We're easy. So good pass there again by Zurich Phelps. Really doing a good job of attacking and finding teammates, already with 4 assists.
Matching him on the other end, R.J. Felton. Punch and counter punch from outside.
Yeah, speaking of assists, Walker already at 3. So both guys leading their team, finding teammates, and big part of this game, as we just talked about, keys to this game is being able to do just that.
Here's Phelps kicking it back out to Nuttall. Back iron. Scramble for the ball.
There you see the urgency from both teams wanting to find a way to get there. Those are the extra effort plays that we talked about. And although ECU had the ball and it ended up being a jump ball, SMU, because of the possession arrow, gets that possession. So those are the type of plays that it's going to really take. Who wins those battles more consistently in this game is definitely going to put themselves in a great position to win.
Zurich Phelps with possession going to the Mustangs on the tie ball, and loses the handle.
He must have touched it after he wrapped around, but great job refusing the ball screen. But the kind of the old school park pickup method of some defense there, reaching around and poking it out. Walker does from Phelps.
8.5 minutes to go. SMU leads 19-16. Ozar No good. Williamson able to keep it in bounds. Teams even, nearly even from the field. 47% for ECU, 44% for SMU, but that percentage will fall by a couple of points after Todorovic can't draw iron.
Yeah, great pass. So FEODZ posting up so well and drawing that weak side defender that made Todorovic open on the skip pass. A little surprised he missed it as long as he did, but great look for SMU, just not quite the connection.
Under 8 minutes to go. Debunje off the mark. He's 1 for 5 from the field so far. Phelps. Short. No good, but it'll stay with SMU as Ozar gets his foot on the baseline. 19-16 Mustangs. 7:45 remaining in the opening half. The top 2 teams in the American battle tonight, Houston and Memphis. The Cougars out to a 12-1 start in league play. 2 weeks to go until the conference tournament. You see ECU and SMU, both with 4 wins apiece in league play. All 11 make it in to the conference tournament in Fort Worth, which starts on March 9th. You'll have to get the car going the other direction to get over to Dickey's Arena.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like conference tournament time. You just never know what's going to happen. I think everybody loves that part about college athletics and March Madness when it comes to basketball. And the real March Madness starts in the conference tournaments, not just the NCAA. So it'll be exciting to see. Both these teams have shown they're capable. SMU got a big win against Temple at home, and ECU gets a big win against Cincinnati. So both these teams fighting for that position. Both teams have 4 wins in the conference season and want to figure out how to got a new ball, it sounds like.
A nick in the original game ball. Both teams have agreed to this new sphere.
Maybe that's why it wasn't going in as much as both teams wanted. Both teams shoot about 40%. The shooting percentage always
more often. Coach is saying, no, we're not shooting that well. You're not shooting that well either. You want to change it out? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it has to be a mutual agreement. That's the only thing. It can't just be one team. But they're 100% from the field with the new ball so far.
And that remains the case as ECU pulls back within 3.
Yeah, both teams getting some easy drives, uncontested layups in the last 2 possessions.
Feodg leading SMU with 7 points. Setting a screen. Phelps, ball back in his hands. He has 2. Looking for 4. Can't add to his total.
Good defense there. Those are the shots that they want Zurich to have to take. Contested 2s over hands. Kind of in that short range. That last time when he spun, he was able to get separation, shoot it open. That time, more contested.
DeBow backing off the defender. No good on the left-handed hook.
If he made a 3, then he just brought it up as a point guard for a little bit. Having a little fun, the big fella is.
Williamson, the floater, good.
Beautiful play by Williamson, driving to close out on the skip pass and looking a little bit more like the young man from Rockwall who was McDonald's All-American coming out. He's had a good start to this game and getting more and more comfortable as the year goes on.
Averaging 8.7 points per game is Samuel Williamson. East Carolina back within 3 points after Debunje converts. He's up to 5. Phelps rattles it home. SMU getting the job done from beyond the arc. Second make of the day from distance. The first coming from Odigi. An unlikely source.
Ogiji's a player to watch for a reason. He's having himself a good afternoon, but great pull-up by Zurich Phelps there. Just in rhythm, had enough space, late contest, and able to knock it down from long range. And when he's able to make 3s, it definitely opens up his game and gives him a lot more freedom that people have to actually respect that. He made a couple triples in the home win against Temple, and that was a big part of it, reason why. And makes an early one in this one.
Spin move by Johnson and convert. He'll stay with ECU though, as Williamson had the ball falling out of bounds.
Yeah, the good thing for SMU right now, the way that they've gone after the glass, they have 18 rebounds to ECU's just 8. So big part of the game. Again, talking about those extra effort plays, that time they were both fighting over it. And there's another extra effort play. Saves it in front of his basket and had a little bit of excitement going on, but deflected out of bounds by the Pirates. But going back to that play, I mean, Samuel Williamson probably a little frustrated he didn't get the first rebound. He was almost fighting with Odigi. 2 guys for SMU fighting over the same rebound, and makes up for it with his length and activity. There you see the deflection and the jump out of bounds save to Zach Nuttall. And again, those are the type of extra effort plays it's going to take for SMU for a full 40 minutes in order to come out of this game with a win.
All smiles at the end of that SMU bench after getting up close and personal. Williamson.
A lot of contact, no call.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Nuttall lifts to the right. ECU running. Able to get it through a couple defenders. Jaden Walker with the score, his first 2 points.
Yeah, beautiful pass by Johnson. A great finish, threaded the needle and was able to avoid 2 blocked shots.
Inside to Odigi. Big man versus big man, down low, and Odigi wins the battle.
Yeah, love the patience by the big fella. Couple pivots, step throughs, knowing that he can do what he wants when he doesn't have a double team. And here you see the replay. Great post entry, middle of the paint, step through, does it again, and able to go over his right shoulder with his left hand, which a lot of big men cannot finish with their opposite hand. And there you see Odigi finishing with the left. Gets a little bit of excitement, and he was our player to watch for a reason. So important his last couple home games in an SMU uniform. You know, he wants to be able to lead his team to a victory. And Coach Lanier had, again, so many great things to say about this young man. And he said he's never seen a young man transform so much in one season.
And it gives him hope. This is something that like I said, never seen it before. But now he thinks, well, maybe this can happen again.
Yeah.
It's kind of remarkable, given the track record, given all the years he's been in the game, that he hadn't experienced that to this point, and now believes it can be a thing.
Yeah, and largely because of, he's a grad transfer. He came in maybe thinking, hey, this 1 year is kind of about me and pursuing maybe the next level and pro and whatever else may come. And he's really bought into helping them lay a foundation of culture and of winning things and handling adversity. He said it hasn't been an easy season for us, but that young man has modeled how to handle himself in these tough situations and really given our program kind of a model to say, hey, this is how we're going to do things. So credit to him and his growth and transformation and him being a voice of leadership on this team.
Jalen Smith has it knocked out of bounds by Walker. And that'll lead us to our final media timeout of the opening half. 4 minutes to go. SMU leads 29-22 over East Carolina. Rob Lanier in the middle of his huddle right now with the SMU Mustangs. His first year leading this SMU program, coming over from Georgia State, and a former co-worker of ECU head coach Michael Schwartz. Not only that, close friends. Coach Schwartz was at the hospital on day one when Emery Lanier, who's now a player for SMU, was born.
Yeah, Coach Lanier said his wife was not having it any other way but to let Coach Schwartz in, and big part of the family. And Coach Lanier has been an instrumental part of Coach Schwartz's development in his career. He's a walk-on for Rick Barnes. Coach Schwartz was back in the day, became a GA, and Coach Lanier helped him kind of get in some of his first coaching jobs. And then when it came time to make a hire back at Tennessee, Coach Lanier was very adamant that Schwartz was the guy, and it's worked out well.
Backdoor pass. Nuttall can't convert as Ozar comes flying in to deny him, but Nuttall will have the opportunity at the line.
Yeah, nice design play there out of a timeout. Here you see Odeze dribbling like he's going to do the handoff and gets a backdoor. Nice pass. Probably could have see why the ECU fans may not think that was a foul, but the aggressive play is rewarded with the trip to the charity stripe.
Zach Nuttall averaging 13.4 points per game. That's top 20 in the conference. Season high came all the way back on December 22nd in a game against Iona with 24 points. 9-point Mustang advantage as we approach halftime in Dallas.
Yeah, I'd imagine you'll see some type of isolation, maybe looking to get a player to watch here for ECU the ball.
Johnson kicks out to Debunje. He spots up. No good. Nuttall hitting the floor, able to retain possession.
Yeah, I just absolutely love the energy on the glass at SMU. Concentrated effort, plus 10 on the glass right now. You've seen multiple times where 2 SMU players are fighting for a rebound.
Lanier, baseline triple, back iron. Debunje against Nuttall. Nuttall takes the charge.
All things going SMU's way. Great job sacrificing your body. Zach Nuttall doing it on the defensive end. Former Southland Conference Player of the Year at Sam Houston State. Showing he's not about just offense, but some defense too. And not easy to do when a guy's running full speed.
The last time you and I saw SMU together, Coach Lanier made a big point to both of us that they needed to be tougher on defense, and we're seeing that today for certain.
Yeah, and he said that that's the thing that he wants to see continually as the season goes on and as it's coming to a close, is how much better do we improve on the defensive end of the floor.
Lanier shot fake, now kicks it to the other side. Short by Phelps.
2 open threes in the same corner. You got to give SMU credit. They're not getting the makes, but they're getting the shot quality that they want.
Walker back outside to Felton. 10 points to lead East Carolina, include a pair of 3-pointers.
Yeah, great offense right there, driving the baseline and just penetration kick. The defense collapse and kick it to one of your best shot makers for an open 3.
Intercepted by Walker. Felton, left wing, no good. Foul on the floor as DeBow was jostling for that rebound. Coming up on the final 2 minutes of this opening half, Jalen Smith and Keon Ambrose Hilton check back in for the Mustangs.
Yeah, big part of all basketball games is just kind of how do you finish a half, how do you finish a game, and this last 2 minutes, really important to see who's going to kind of go into the half with a little bit more momentum.
That's travel.
Good defensive stop there. Kind of slipped the ball screen, and SMU had multiple defenders come in to help. Caused the big fella to maybe shuffle his feet, and SMU gets a chance to convert off of that turnover.
SMU hasn't scored in the last 2.5 minutes from the field. Inside to Williamson. Spin move, baseline, knocked away.
Great hands there to knock it out.
ECU trying to trim the 6-point deficit. Felton. And 1.
Yeah, good call there. Try to reach in and get the same kind of a poke out that ECU was able to do on Williamson that time. Felton a little bit too strong, had too much grip on it, and there you see the reach in by Phelps, and he's able to draw the N1. Nice job in transition by Felton.
His role has certainly increased with Javon Small sideline. Since that injury, Felton has averaged over 17 points per game.
Yeah, he's really emerged as a guy who can really score it at a high rate. We talk about 17 a game. That's what Phelps averages on a year for SMU. So imagine another player that you don't expect to be able to emerge in that kind of way. Have to give that young man credit, and they've done a good job continuing to feed him, and he's been terrific this first half. There you see another elbow ISO, face-up jumper, something they love to do, either rip and drive and make a decision, or just face up and shoot that jumper.
Short on that one. 51 seconds left. Williamson has a seam, throws it down.
Dear mama, there goes that man. Full out sprint. Williamson taking flight here in Dallas.
You saw the seas part.
Yes, you did.
And Williamson straight through and raising that right arm high.
Yeah, here you see it. Great pass off the penetration, and nobody wanted to really jump with him. Big man thought about it and said, wait a minute, he's going a little too fast. We're going to let him have that. And Samuel Williamson turning back the dial to his high school days. He's been terrific in this game so far. 4 of 5 from the field, 2 steals, 3 rebounds, 8 points. And has played with great energy and efficiency. The thing I've loved about this young man and watching him play, he no longer defines himself as a player who has to score to have a good game. And since he's done that, he's now become a guy, the scoring's become a lot easier, but he doesn't, you've seen his deflections, you've seen his rebounds, you've seen his energy, his cutting off the ball. He's done so many things that the younger version of him, or even sometimes when you're a really talented player in high school and you have to do everything with the ball in your hands, you struggle to make that transition, and he's done a terrific job as the season has gone on, and again, being efficient. 4 of 5 from the field. The only one shot he missed was kind of that isolation drive that he had, which was still a good shot, but high percentage shots, and you got to give a young man credit who could make that kind of a change. Again, Coach talked about Efio Digi, but Samuel Williamson's right in that same kind of conversation of a young man who's really transformed as the season's gone on.
The sentence I highlighted from our conversation with Coach Lanier about Williamson is that now he is less caught up in numbers, more focused on impact.
Yep, that's a great way to put it. Coach Lanier, very good with his words, as we all know, and that impact he talks about with Williamson, he now understands is not just about those numbers and those points. Great stop there by the Mustangs, and they have an opportunity and to go expand on this lead with 15 seconds to go. Have to go the length of the floor. I would imagine you'll see something with Zurich Phelps. He's so good when he has a head of steam, but at the same time, they want to have a chance to take the last shot and get an offensive rebound. So probably looking to take a shot around the 6-second mark, or start to take a shot in that action. And hopefully if there is a miss, they want to be able to get the offensive rebound. Meanwhile, ECU wants to try to see if they can somehow not only get a stop, but if they can get a takeaway and cut this lead to 3 before the half, that'd be great in their favor.
Not a whole lot of fault in SMU's game here in this opening half. The one thing maybe from three-point land, only 2 of 9 so far. Not the clip that they need to be at in that category. Yeah,
I think the coaching staff will be excited about a lot of things defensively. The turnovers, though, the 8 turnovers is something that coaches will talk about, because that's, 8 less times you had an opportunity to shoot, take a shot on the rim. So I think that's definitely something that they'll want to improve on. Here we see the last play of the half.
You saw it just a moment ago, virtually even in field goal percentage. SMU just barely above ECU, 43.3 to 42.9. Nuttall behind the line, short. Williamson there for the putback.
Beautiful job. Those are the extra effort plays we talked about, and Samuel Williamson has been an impact player. 10 points first half, and SMU expands on their lead with great execution out of the timeout.
And that's now 5 straight games for Williamson with 10 or more